And I've got Aaron in the back.
You'd be able to.
Hi, everyone. I don't even know if this is working, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Um, Sorry for the delay. Just had some technical difficulties based on having no power for a little while, but because of the high winds and then trying to get everything turned back on, that was kind of a problem. So I hope that this is working. And if it's a big fail, I apologize. I will try to get it right next time. First of all, I just want to say good evening to all of you. And I know that we are now entering into week 3 of our remote learning model here at Tusky Valley. And I just want to acknowledge, first of all, that you have done a spectacular job, outstanding job. And I'm so proud of all of you. This is hard work. What you are doing is hard. What we are doing is hard. And again, you've done just a remarkable job. You may not feel that way, but I just want to encourage you and let you know that you are doing a great job. Tammy keeps telling me that sometimes too when I don't feel like this is working. Like right now, it's been very frustrating to try to do this. But you have shown a lot of fortitude and strength and flexibility and creativity and through all of this. And I just am so thankful for that. And I'm very proud of you for your work. We've got to acknowledge right now that things are very different. We've got to acknowledge that everything is different. Everything is new. Everything that we're trying to do is new and different. And it certainly, at least for me, it feels sometimes completely outside of our realm of expertise. What we would normally be doing, it takes us completely out of our comfort zone. And that's hard. That in itself is a challenge. If we're honest, and I'll speak for myself, but if we're honest, I think that none of us really fully realized the seriousness of this COVID-19, this coronavirus, when we first started to hear about it. I know that I didn't. Initially, my response was, what on earth are we talking about here? And why are people freaking out? And why are events being canceled? And what is this all about? Why are people responding this way? And now we know just how serious this COVID-19 coronavirus really is. Just yesterday, I got to hear, and perhaps you did too, I got to hear the amazing story and watch a video released from the Cleveland Clinic regarding Nick Brown and Nick's experience of going from being a perfectly young 38-year-old male dad and husband, being perfectly healthy, and then just a matter of days being put on full life support and struggling for his life. And Nick is an employee of our Educational Service Center and is a member of our Tusky Valley team he helps oversee our technology management for the district, and he serves lots of school districts through the Educational Service Center. And so right now I'm proud to report to you that Nick has been released from the hospital and is at home with his family, reunited with his wife and his children, and is recovering. And so, Nick, if you are watching this, just know that we're thinking of you, and we welcome you home, and trust that you will continue to feel better and regain your strength. We're going to keep moving through this new normal. Because I have a feeling that what we're experiencing right now, we're in this for the long haul in terms of this remote learning model. I don't know how long that will be, but my gut tells me that it's going to extend beyond April 3rd, and we will probably hear more about that this week from our governor. I've had the chance to talk with a few of you personally, and I want you to know that it's perfectly normal for you and for me to have emotions that run the gamut, for our mind and emotions to just run all over the place with different thoughts. You know, right now, some of you may be feeling frustrated. You may be feeling confused. There may be some feelings of stress and worry and anxiety, stress over and worry over your students, your own family, perhaps. But especially when we think about us as educators, you think about the students, maybe the ones that you're not hearing from, that you're not getting response from, that that they're not logging on. We know that the majority of our kids are tuned in, they're doing what they need to do, but then our hearts go out and we start to worry about those kids that that are not. And we don't want to miss anybody. We don't want anybody to fall through the cracks. Some of us may be feeling a bit overwhelmed and feeling like, you know what, I don't even know what to do or how to do it. And certainly when you're accustomed to doing things to the best of your ability and you're thrust into a brand new world of trying to do business, that can be a bit overwhelming. And if I'm honest, there's for those of us as we're all in education, and I think for the majority of us, because we're in education, we like to be in control of things. And so when that control is kind of stripped away from us, then that can be frustrating. So it's perfectly normal for all of us to be feeling those things. I want to encourage you. I want to encourage all of us. Now is when each of us individually and all of us cooperatively, corporately, as a school district, must recognize that we need to recognize the adversity and the challenges that we face, yet choose to find the advantage in the midst of the adversity. We need to choose to find the advantage in the adversity. This is you and me choosing to move forward with confidence in the midst of chaos. And that is exactly what we are going to do at Tusky Valley. We are going to move forward with confidence in the midst of the chaos. And you may ask, Mark, how on earth do I find the good in this? You're talking about finding the good and trying to find the advantage in the adversity. I don't feel like that. And how are we going to do that? And how are we going to do that as a school district? Well, I believe there are three ways, and I'm going to share those with you. First of all, and I'm not sharing anything new. Really, I'm not sharing anything new. I'm going to remind us of some things. So, number one, we are going to stay the course and continue to refine and improve our work. That's what we do at Tusky Valley. We stay on course and then we continue to refine and improve all that we're doing. We have to think and act differently right now. We have to view everything differently. And it all boils down to perspective and attitude. And I will confess to you, my attitude has not been the greatest sometimes. I try to be positive. I try to be upbeat for my family. I try to be positive, upbeat, and bring clarity for you in our school district. But to be perfectly honest, I've been struggling too. This is hard. And you feel the weight and responsibility of trying to get it all right. And we're completely in a new realm of things. So, that's where we have to give each other some grace. But it does boil down to perspective and attitude. I came across a quote by Albert Einstein, and Albert Einstein said, "In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity." Listen to that. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity, probably great opportunity. And that's exactly where I believe we find ourselves right now in the spring of 2020. In the middle of difficulty, we can find opportunity. So we're going to find the opportunity by staying on course. We're going to follow our district calendar, and we're going to continue delivering the best remote learning opportunities that we possibly can. And we're going to continue to refine and improve. Secondly, we're going to remain steadfast with our goal of continuing education, continuing learning opportunities for our students. This is exactly what our governor and state superintendent that they're expecting of us and that they've asked for. It's also the right thing to do. And that's exactly what we have been doing. So we're going to continue that, given the resources available to us. And thirdly, we are going to remain flexible yet accountable. You've heard me say that before. We're going to be as creative and as flexible as we possibly can. And yet we're going to do our work with a sense of accountability and excellence as always. So let me dive into a few specifics as we venture into week 3. And I'm going to break this down a bit by classification. So we're going to start with our teachers. First of all, teachers, you guys have just been nailing it, and I thank you so much. I cannot thank you enough for the work that you're pouring in, the time that you're spending behind your computer, trying to create new things. You're learning new things. You're delivering education using a different platform. So I just want to thank you for that, but I also want to encourage you to put some boundaries on yourself. I told our kids, I don't expect our students to be sitting, you've heard me talk to our students, and I told them, I don't expect our students to be sitting in front of a Chromebook or in front of an iPad for 6.5 or 7 hours a day. That is not appropriate. It's not what we're doing. I don't expect that of you either. That, maintain some office hours, do the work, upload lessons, try to maintain some contact with children and families, but put yourself on a schedule because you cannot do this 24/7. So please give yourself some grace with that. But I want to thank you for delivering quality lessons and assignments to our students using the online platforms such as Seesaw and Google Classroom and many others. I want to encourage you to consider um, prioritizing those learning standards. Consider what you would normally be doing right now as you look at our pacing guides, our curriculum guides. Look at what you would normally be doing and then prioritize those, bring them together, streamline that, and create lessons accordingly. But you can't do it all, and we can't expect our students to do it all. Please be sure. I know that I believe most of us are doing this. Most of you are doing this, but please be sure to continue dropping in your lesson plans, your basic lesson plan format, what you're planning to do for the week. That you're dropping those in those shared Google folders that were given to you by Mr. Veransky. I want to encourage you, grade levels and departments at the high school. Please be sure to continue collaborating with each other. This is not the time, guys, to be doing this by yourself on your own. So, as a grade level team, please continue to use Zoom meeting or Google Meets or whatever you need to do. Get on the phone, do FaceTime, but do this work together. Now is not the time to do it alone. Um, Please continue to use Progress Book to report student grades, to report student progress. I mentioned the word grades, but I want to use that word loosely. Our focus has always been on learning. It needs to continue being on the learning. Grades matter, but the learning matters most. So I just want to encourage us to do that. So when you put lessons out there and students are not doing it to the level that you believe they're capable of doing it, then call them out on it gently and reinforce that. Have them do it again. Have them do the work well, as opposed to just turning the work in and issuing a grade and plugging it into Progress Book. But I would encourage you to make sure that you're keeping Progress Book and your calendars and your communications with kids up to date. And lastly, for teachers, thank you for connecting with our kids. Thanks for finding new and creative ways of connecting with them, letting them hear your voice, letting them see you, letting them know that you're for them. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to venture into our classified staff. I'm going to start with our custodial staff. Guys, thank you so much for continuing to work staggered shifts. I know you're working staggered shifts, maybe some reduced hours that we've asked you to do. But thank you for continuing to clean the buildings. I know you've sanitized, you've cleaned, you've started to tackle projects that you normally don't have a chance to do. So thank you for doing that. We may begin transitioning some of you to outdoor work because it is springtime, and so we can have good-looking buildings on the inside and the outside. So we stay tuned with that. To our cooks, our nutritional staff, my goodness, thank you guys so much. You have jumped in with all of your heart, all of your might to prepare meals for Monday's delivery. You know, we've gone from serving about 180 meals a day. Now last Monday we served about 320, and now Mrs. Bettis, for tomorrow's delivery, we have planned 450 meals. So thank you to our kitchen staff and to other folks that are working even behind the scenes to make that happen. Mrs. Bettis, thank you for your leadership with our kitchen staff, with our nutritional staff. Let's keep up the great work in this area. To our aides and to our monitors, thank you for volunteering to assist with meal delivery. You'll never know what kind of an impact that's having. Just seeing you, hearing your voices, having you help with that has just been fantastic. Thank you, too, to our aides for continuing to offer support to our intervention specialists and also reaching out to students when it's appropriate. Thank you for connecting with our kids, students that you normally serve and reach out to. Thanks for connecting with them in ways that only you can. And to our secretaries, you know, you guys are usually on the front lines. And now this really looks different for you. So thank you for fielding and responding to phone calls and emails, directing people in the right directions, calming fears, offering reassurance. Again, your presence, your voice on the phone, or your messages behind the keyboard, those emails as you're responding, it goes a long way. So thank you to our secretaries. Continue to be that voice of reassurance and hope as people call into the office or as you're responding to emails. And to our secretaries, you know what? Thank you for always being available to our staff, to our parents and families, and to our kids. You are always there for all of us. So thank you guys very, very much. I should say ladies. Thank you, ladies, for being there for us. To our bus drivers, thank you all very hard for working to clean and sanitize your bus. And thanks to our volunteers that are delivering meals on Mondays. That big yellow bus, I can only imagine being a student or a parent right now that gets to watch the big yellow bus, not picking up and dropping off kids, but pulling into neighborhoods and then providing meals. Our buses have taken on a whole new look in terms of making a difference that way with our families. Mr. Spillman and Mrs. Hoagland, if they haven't already, are going to be in touch with our bus drivers. We're going to begin to transition from the paper and pencil T2 route sheets and seating charts to using Google Classroom, not Google Classroom, Google Sheets for you to be able to type your route sheets and your seating charts in so that it's typed, not paper and pencil. And that will make things a lot easier, not just as we finish this year, but as we transition into next year. I know that may sound daunting at first, but Mr. Spillman, Mrs. Hoagland, our technology folks, and I am certainly willing to help you do that. And lastly, in closing, again, I just want to encourage you to say we are going to move forward with confidence in the midst of the chaos. We are going to find the advantage in the midst of the adversity. Know that I am super proud of all of you. I honestly cannot express it adequately, but I'm proud of all of you. I'm proud of our school district. I'm proud of what we're doing. I thank you. I thank you for making our school district an instrument of hope, an instrument of peace, an instrument of encouragement and continuity when it's needed the most. Thank you for doing that. I will do my best to stay in touch with you. I don't want to overwhelm with information. I don't want to overwhelm. I don't want to over communicate, and I don't want to under communicate. But I will certainly do my best to be in touch. In the meantime, please stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Give yourselves a break a little bit. Take care of your families. And again, even on a personal level, find the advantage in the adversity. Just as I said last week, maybe it's as we spend more time with our families, don't lose sight of the value of the opportunity to sit together at the dinner table together as a family. Don't underestimate the value of going for a walk together, or watching a movie together and doing family games or whatever it may be for your family. But I just encourage you to do that because we normally don't have those opportunities. So take full advantage of that. Blessings to each of you. Have a great night and a great week, and go Trojans.